stream for spring 2021 and summer 2021. Spring through summer of 2021, and this is just going to be kind of explaining where I had been for a 3 week hiatus, a not planned 3 week hiatus. And I'm just gonna kind of explain in detail more so than I did before in this past few streams that I've been doing. I'm gonna explain in more detail where I have been, and kind of I feel like you guys deserve to know. I feel like you guys have a right to know. So, I guess just to kind of put this out there, usually I stream. Past few times I've streamed American Truck Simulator to kind of just drive and talk to you guys about everything and do a few missions here and there. But this is probably only going to be about maybe a 30-minute stream, 20-minute stream, not really sure. But I wanted to hit on a few points for my channel. And I guess we will revisit an old world that we were on, and I just kind of walk around, explain stuff to you, probably fish, and whatever, just kind of hang out. It's kind of a Q&A almost. But I guess where I'll start off at is it was a few weeks ago. It was like probably 4 weeks ago now, where I was fine. I didn't feel bad. And just kind of out of nowhere, I mean absolutely out of nowhere, I'm dead. Okay, that's interesting. I'm sure you all remember this area. But I was just gonna say that it was a few weeks ago, and what had happened was I felt fine, but I had kind of a scratchy throat. It was just kind of a thing. And I'm a person that really doesn't agree with the mask wearing thing for COVID, but I still wear it because I do work with general public for my full-time job. I do work with general public, and I do I do follow the rules. Any place I go into, any other store I go into, any establishment I go into, I still wear my mask and I wear it correctly. Wear it over my nose. But I know it's not foolproof. I know it's not an immunity to the virus, and it wasn't planned to be. It's just help slow the spread, and help prevent people from getting it. And after my experience with getting COVID, one day I woke up and I had absolutely no energy at all. I don't know where I got COVID from. I have in my head I suspected where I got it from, but I had absolutely no energy one morning. Went to work because my job was closed down for I'd say my job was probably closed down for a solid 2 weeks. I would say. A solid 2 weeks they were closed down. There's a drown right there. And there's nothing you can do about it. There was just a few people possibly had COVID, and they were taking the proper precautions for said COVID possible outbreak for those people. And we were taking proper precautions, and we were really short-handed with 4 or 5 people that thought that they had it. They were just sick randomly, and we just wanted to shut down. And when we did shut down, we were shut down for like a week and a half to 2 weeks. I don't know why my headset wanted to turn off there. I'm going to real quick make sure you guys can hear me. I don't know why. You're going to hear some Yeah, I don't know why my headset wanted to turn off. Usually it does that because it thinks there's no audio coming through the headset, so randomly turns off to save power. So like I was saying, we were closed for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and the day that we opened up, I should say the night before we opened up, I felt kind of weird. And like I said, prior to that, I was having issues with my throat, like just kind of scratchy kind of throat, almost like a sore throat feeling. But I didn't feel bad at all. And just kind of out of nowhere, the day or the night before we opened at work, I started feeling like a lack of energy. It was pretty bad. And then, what's up, Callan? Um, and then the next day when I went to work, or that morning, I should say, I had no energy at all. Had no energy. I couldn't breathe. Um, it was it was pretty painful. I mean, it was a pretty horrible experience. Fucking roses. It was a pretty horrible experience with COVID. I can see and I understand more so now because I knew people were dying from it. I knew people were having struggles, especially people who have underlying issues. I knew a lot of those things were happening with people, and I would not wish COVID on my worst enemy because um, I can see why people were dying from it. I knew people were, and I didn't deny that. And I'm not an extremist because I said I don't agree with wearing masks. I don't think it's an immunity, and I don't think the vaccines are immunity. But I do believe there's a way to slow it down, and I think the masks are helping in a way. But again, they're not an immunity, and they're not a foolproof, but they are slowing it. But with like a lot of viruses, I think you need to get it to build immunity to it. And that's one of the biggest ways to stop yourself from getting it in the future, or at least that strand, because that's how viruses work. So, you know, I struggled with it. I took off probably 4 or 5 days. I took off, and all I did was lay on the couch and watch TV. I don't watch TV. So I was in horrible, horrible. Everything just despawned. What the hell? I guess screw you too, game. Um, I was laying on the couch, watched TV, didn't do anything. My severe lack of energy and hard of like shortness of breath. I mean, it was not just shortness of breath. I just could not breathe. It was horrible. If I lay down for an extended amount of time, I could breathe fine. If I was up for an extended amount of time, I could breathe fine. But if I went from a transition to laying down to standing up or standing up to laying down, I couldn't breathe. It was like my lungs were like collapsing. It felt like the way I explained it to people was I was a corpse, but I was alive and I could feel it the whole time. It was a pretty horrible experience. I would say the flu is worse uh, in its own class of sickness because with the flu you get cold and hot, and with COVID everybody's different. But the one thing or the couple things that I know that people have been consistent with is the fact that you can't breathe and the fact you have no energy, and it's a long time to recover. And because I'm 27, I did bounce back, but compared to someone who's a lot older, 65 plus, and underlying issues kind of people, they're not going to bounce back as fast. So I can see where all their struggles are coming from. Because if I had as much problems as I have, I don't smoke, I don't have any underlying issues. Like I said, I'm 27. I bounced back from it, but they will not, and I can see where a lot of their struggles and where death is coming into play and all those things. But like I said, the flu, in my opinion, the flu is different from COVID, but it has a lot of similarities. But the one thing I didn't have with COVID was I didn't have any headaches. Blow me one Kenobi. I have not seen you for a while, my man. Um, I didn't have any headaches, didn't have stomach aches, didn't have any body pains. At one point I did overexert myself, which did result in body pains, but it was because of lack of energy. So I shouldn't have done that in the first place, but work has to be done. No one else is going to do it, so I have to do it. Um, because I do raise livestock. But like I said before, um, COVID, I didn't have any of these problems. But my biggest issues with COVID was a shortness of breath and the no energy. It was a horrible experience. I think that's where I'm saying is that the flu, you have, your body aches. I didn't lose any taste or smell at all with COVID either, like a lot of people did. Um, all I had was just like a severe lack of energy, and that severe lack of energy kind of, in a way, took away a lot of my motivation, and that lack of motivation kind of turned into a little bit of depression. I have dealt with severe depression in the past, to a point to where I had to go to a therapist, and I'm totally fine now. Believe me, I'm totally fine now. I'm totally fine now. But I've dealt with severe depression to a point that I don't want to get into the details of. But it turned into almost like a minimal amount of depression that I knew I was getting into, and I thought, wow, I need to do something. So I literally used every ounce of willpower to actually get up, start moving around. This was at like on the fourth or fifth day where I still felt like shit. I got up, I moved around. I knew I had to. I forced myself to get up to do these things. I forced myself to eat because even though I did not have the sensation of being hungry, my brain was telling me, hey, you have to eat something because this is probably why you don't have a lot of energy. You need to do something different. You need to eat something. You need to do something different because you're not helping yourself just by laying around. So I got up. I ate. Even though everything tasted like shit. I mean, I didn't lose my taste or my smell. Everything, I could smell everything. It all smelled like shit. I could taste everything. It all tasted either way too salty or way too sweet, which it just turned me off totally. And my brain almost was like, you have to eat, even though you're not having the sensation of hunger. You gotta eat. So I would say on the day that I went back to work, I started feeling like I was getting better, started getting more energy back. My energy turned into, what are these bastards going to do? What are these guys going to do? Maybe I'm going to go kill them. With the fact that I went back to work, I felt a lot better. And just overall, I feel like, what does this have on it? Mending Punch, Flame 1. No, it doesn't have infinite arrows or anything like that. I think tools over here. They are, but nothing special. Infinity 1. I believe I'll be using that. But, like I said, it was a really weird experience, and by the first day I went back to work because a few people covered for me at work. Ha! Ha! You bitch! Gotcha. But now I'm fucked. I need some milk. I don't think we have any cows either. Don't think we have any milk. We should have some. Yeah, I was gonna say we should have some buckets around here. So I'll continue on with my conversation, or not my conversation, but what I was saying. It got to a point to where I started feeling better, and my motivation was starting to come back, and I started having immense back pain. And I think a part of that was because of the fact that I was laying down and did nothing for literally 4 or 5 days straight. My body is not used to me just not doing anything. I'm always up, moving around. I can't sit still. My body is just used to always moving. So I I I went back to work, and like I said, I feel like that kind of helped me get better quicker. Um, but when I went back to work, it was a lot of the pain was between my shoulder blades, and that pain slowly over time went down my back into my lower back. And it was like probably a few days later, and I started feeling a lot better, got my energy back, just in time for me to do a shit ton of work on the farm with livestock. Um, and I overall now I feel fantastic. All my energy is totally back. I feel so much better with everything, with all my experiences with COVID. I feel 1,000% better than what I did before. I would not wish that on anybody. Even my grandparents. I was wearing my mask near my grandparents, and they said, "Oh, you don't need to wear a mask. You don't need to wear a mask." I'm like, "Well," I said, "right now," I said, "I don't know if I have something." And they're like, "Well, what do you think you have?" And I said, "I don't know. I could have COVID. Maybe just the flu." I said, "I really don't know." And so, in that aspect, the mask was working because I kept my distance. I social distance, which whatever. I just did the basic things that everybody's been told to do and conditioned to do. So I just conformed to that, and for the respect of my grandparents are 80 plus, that I don't want them to die an early death. I tried to do my part and tried to stay away from them, and just kept my distance the whole time. But like I said, now I feel absolutely better. I feel 1,000% better, and I'm so glad everybody was so patient with me. Like it was 3 weeks before I started streaming again, or at least it was like a day or two from 3 weeks I started streaming again. And thank you. I thank everybody so much for staying with me, and not freaking out and saying, "Oh, Jesus, guy isn't coming back. Where's he at? No explanation." Blah da da da. And I lost a few subscribers, and that's totally understandable. I where I'm just trying to find a cow, bro. I'm just trying to find a cow. Um, and it's totally understandable that people are unsubscribed and they left because they're like, oh, he's not uploading anything. He said he was going to, but believe me, I didn't talk to anybody when I was sick. I was literally not I didn't even smile. I didn't even talk to anybody. I didn't do anything. It was like it just cut me down. Roses again, man. Um, but yeah, that's my explanation of why I've been gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it's almost been a 20-minute stream so far. But yeah, that is my whole explanation of why. And if you guys don't want to listen to anything that I said, I will put in the description the time to go to. Um, it'll be 19 minutes, and I'll put that in the description right now. There, I put 19 minutes is where I talk about channel update. So, there you go. That's in the description. So, that way you guys can see it in the description and you guys can just see, hey, that's where it's at. So, back to what I was talking about before. I have a little bit of a list in front of me here, about what games I'm going to be streaming here in the next few months. I'd say from now until June, it's pretty much my summer update, the spring to summer update, and then I'll do summer to fall update video. But I'll have a few games that I'll be doing. But if you want to talk about a few more games, I guess we'll start talking about Watch Dogs DLC. That's tomorrow. The Watch Dogs DLC. I'm sure if anybody's been keeping up on it, Watch Dogs DLC, is the season pass will be part of it. If you get season pass, because the online free content is 3 co-op missions and then 2 co-op gadgets, which I believe it's a Guardian drone and then Point Defense drone. I'd like to find a cow. And then there's new characters for the DLC, DJ and First Responder. Now, I'm kind of curious about the First Responder. I really don't even have an idea. We were talking about it, Kraydon and I were talking about it, and we were thinking that maybe it was an axe and then a fire extinguisher, and then I think there's some sort of emergency for the First Responder. So that'll be kind of interesting. And the DJ really have no idea, because it says 5 assignments, operative customization, and then 5 character abilities and new store packs. So that's all it says for the online free content. And then the season pass, which I will be getting, releases tomorrow. Everything releases tomorrow on the 4th, which will be the Mina Sidhu. Sidhu? Is it Sidhu or Sidhu? I think it's Sidhu. Sidhu. It's a new playable hero. And then the Dead Sex story mission, Swipe Right. That's what the mission's called, Swipe Right. So I will be streaming that tomorrow morning. Not sure exactly what time it's going to be released, but I will be getting that. I'll be trying to stream that tomorrow morning. If not, it'll be tomorrow evening. But that'll be like after 8 or 9 o'clock. So I'm going to try to do it this morning as soon as I possibly can. So that is the Watch Dogs update that I am currently planning on doing. And then going on to the next thing would be Mass Effect. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is coming out, I believe, this month. I do not remember what day it's coming out, but I know it is coming out. So my biggest guess is I think it's coming out next week, maybe. There's a cow right there. I feel like it's coming out next week. I feel like it's like let me. I'm just gonna see the update here if they've changed anything, because I haven't really been keeping track of it. So May 14th. May 14th is the date for the release of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Because if you don't know about it, it tells the complete tale of Commander Shepard, except for Mass Effect's Principal Station DLC that was cut due to the corrupt source code. It was a plan that they were going to do that, and it just never happened because of that source code. So that's for sure what's going on, and I guess there's a potential day one patch that I guess is, if it said, is bigger than Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if that means individually or if it's all together, but that is the current situation. So, we've got that. Mass Effect, I'll be doing Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 for sure. I have never played all the way through Mass Effect 1. 2 is my favorite, and 2 has the best gameplay, and 3 has the best story because it is finishing off the whole trilogy. But Mass Effect 1, I never played through the whole game because I thought it was absolutely horrible. Gameplay was horrible. Everything about it was horrible. So now, maybe Mass Effect 1 will be with basically the remake. Because it's a remaster, but it's a remake, in my opinion, for just 1. 2 and 3, they just have, in my opinion, just a few minor changes with the update when it comes to like graphical updates. Because 2 and 3, I think, still are somewhat held to the same standards of today. They're pretty games. They're pretty games. So the plan is to do the Mass Effect trilogy 1, 2, and 3. I love those games. Haven't played them at all lately. And we just kept saying a couple friends and I just kept saying over the years, oh, they'll come out with it on PS4. They'll come out with it on PS4. They'll come out with it on the next Xbox. You know, they'll do all these different things, and it never did, never did, never did. And my one friend had bought it on PC for like, I think it was all 3 games for, I feel like it was like 60 or 70 bucks, maybe it was 80 bucks. He bought all 3 games, and I'm like, that sucks, doesn't it? So, yeah, he's most likely going to be buying the game again, all 3 of them again, because he doesn't want to wait like I did. But on to the next game, which is Dying Light. Right now, the initial release date is June, I believe, because they were saying something about the game being delayed, and originally it was the game was being delayed indefinitely. Then it came back out, and they released some content on this one video saying about the size of the map. That the size of the map for 2 is just as big as the following. If it's a following map and the regular map. I think everything about it was like 3 times the size. It's like double or 3 times the size. So I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty big. It's pretty nice. More new zombies, new types, and everything that they were releasing in the game. So there's a plenty of new things that they want to add in. But again, I can only reiterate this so much when I say that the game is going to be like, apparently it's in June, but you know, who knows? Who knows for sure what's going to happen? But that's, I think, the current plan is June. Logan and I will be streaming that together. That is the plan. So that it's really not much to say other than the fact that we can't really wait for that game to come out. That's going to be like super fun. Because the first one was fantastic. It was amazing. So when I do these update videos, I don't really have a lot of stuff to say about different things that are going on in the game, or that's going to be going on in each game, because I don't want to know, but at least I can tell you guys what I'm going to be doing for sure, and for certain for my channel. So that's definitely what's going to happen. Are those the Watch Dogs DLC tomorrow? I've tried to stream that as soon as I possibly can in the morning, and then Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Dying Light 2. So that's tomorrow. Watch Dogs tomorrow for the DLC. Then the Mass Effect is this month on the 14th, and then Dying Light 2 is June, and then the third game, or I should say the third actual full game that I want to talk about, because Watch Dogs is already, I'm just talking about the DLC. The third full game I want to talk about is Sons of the Forest. If you've seen it lately, Logan and I had streamed the end of The Forest, which was a fantastic game. Really fun. Really fun story. Really unexpected story at the end. But that's pretty much what happened. Was us just saying, oh, okay, well, it's really unexpected, but you know, whatever. I mean, it was a really good story at the very end, where Timmy is, I from what I've heard in Sons of the Forest, Timmy is supposed to be the son of the forest or whatever, because he was infected through the little, process he was going through in the alien pod. If you want to watch it, you can see it yourself. But he's infected by that, and I guess he went to the island, or he went to Site 2 is apparently what it is. He went to Site 2, and Site 2 apparently is the what I want to say. Site 2 is like the location he goes to kind of figure out what's going on, if he can get some answers about things going on, and just kind of go from there. But otherwise, that's really all I have to say about the Sons of the Forest. I don't want to say too much more. It's not like I know anything than anybody else, but I just don't want to say too much more because I feel like in a way it'll ruin it. I'll ruin it a little bit for myself if I just keep talking about it, and I don't want to pay attention more to one game compared to another game when I come to talking about it. So I hope you guys don't feel like I'm rambling on when I talk about stuff in update videos, but it's really just kind of me talking, and that's all it is. So if you don't like that stuff, I mean, I've got plenty of other stuff you can watch. But that is pretty much it for the update video. I know it was kind of different for an update stream kind of thing that I was doing because I explained where have I been kind of idea for that question. Because I was gone for like 3 weeks. So it was kind of my COVID experience that I wanted to explain. Not really in a way to more educate people, but kind of let you guys know what I went through. And if, in case you do watch my streams, if you are loyal to my channel, if you do watch my stuff, you skim through it at least, you'll see some content and see some news and possibly something new you can learn to maybe help yourself later on if you would possibly get COVID. That's my experience with COVID. And then I wanted to also talk about new games coming up for spring to summer of 2021, which was Watch Dogs DLC tomorrow on the 4th, May 4th. May the 4th be with you, by the way. Everybody, May the 4th be with you. You're all fantastic. May the 4th be with you. I think that's a cheesy thing to say, but it's a huge marketing thing, and people love it. And like I said, Mass Effect, that comes out May 14th. I will be streaming that. I'll probably do like a 2-hour special or something like that. You know, it's first hour and then the second hour, part 1 and part 2, like I normally do for a lot of games. And then Dying Light 2 apparently supposed to be coming out in June. I don't know that for sure. And I also saw about Sons of the Forest possibly being an August release, but again, I'm not sure. So just kind of bear with me on those things. But this has been officially 33 minutes of me just talking and rambling on about my experiences with COVID and the different games I want to do here the next 3 or 4 months between spring and summer. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around and listening to me ramble on and talk about my experiences with COVID and the games I want to stream in the future. So right after this, Kraydon and I will be streaming on Minecraft. It will not be on this world, sadly, because of the fact that we are done with this world. We are actually going to be going on to a world that he has started. We wanted to do Minecraft. Man, just escaped me. I don't know why it escapes me like that. I have to go back to the main menu because for some reason I can't even think of what I'm talking about. Son of a bitch, why can't I think of what I'm trying to say? We were originally going to be doing a new Minecraft live stream series that was going to be about the Minecraft server experience. Like, I cannot think of what the fuck it's called. Well, I don't know why I can't think of what I'm trying to think of. Realms, Minecraft Realms. Jeez, I don't know why it was so hard to remember. We were going to do Minecraft Realms, but a lot of technical difficulties were happening when Kraydon tried to set up Realms. He had it set up. We were going to do stuff, and it didn't work. So, hey, there's just some question right there. So I just wanted to point that out there with everything. Again, I'm going to reiterate with my experience with COVID. Games that I'm going to be playing here between spring of 2021 to summer of 2021. So thank you everybody so much for watching. And right after this, we will be doing a live stream for Minecraft. Kraydon and I will. So thank you everybody again so much for watching. As always, I am a non-profit YouTuber / streamer. I do this purely for fun. And I hope this update video was somewhat informative, somewhat educational. I don't claim to be an educator. I don't claim to be an influencer. I don't claim to be anything but a person that tries to have fun in anything that they do. So, thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you all in the next live stream.